Journey to the West, an audio drama series. Chapter 32, Part 1. We will speak of the Tang monk. Now that he had Sun Xingzhe back, master and disciples united their spirits to head west together. After rescuing the princess of Precious Elephant Kingdom, the king and his officials sent them off westward. There was no end to all the hunger and thirst they suffered along the way, and speak not of the lodging by night and departing by day. Soon they arrived at the fine days of spring, when blossoms covered the roads and birds were most active. They were enjoying the scenery as they walked when another mountain stood in their way. The Tang monk said, "Disciples, we must be very careful. There is a high mountain ahead. I'm afraid there will be tigers and wolves in our way." Xingzhe said, "Master, those out of the family should stop uttering words you say in the family. Do you remember that line in the Heart Sutra from Chan Master Crow's Nest, which says, 'The mind has no hindrance. Without hindrance no fear exists. Be far away from every perverted view.' It all comes down to this. Sweep away the filth in your mind, wash out the dust from your ears. Without tasting the most painful of all pains, you cannot become a man among men. Don't you worry. As long as Elder Sun is here, even if the sky falls down, I will make certain you are unharmed. Why should you ever fear tigers and wolves?" Reining in his horse to turn back, the elder said, "By edict I left Chang'an that very year. My only thought was heading west to see Buddha's face. In the kingdom of Shaliru, the golden statue shone every color on a Buddhist pagoda spotted were those divine brows of jade. Searching through all the unnamed waters of the world, climbing across all mountains without human trace, chasing after layers of mist and waves, when would this body find a restful place?" Xingzhe heard that and burst into laughter, saying, "Master, how hard would it be to find a restful place? Once the merit is complete, when all destinies are forgotten and all laws become emptiness, your body will naturally find rest." The elder heard that and let go of his worries at this small joy. Hurrying his white horse forward, master and disciples made it onto the mountain. What a steep and rugged mountain it was! A fine one. Craggy ridges and sharp peaks. There were deep streams where pythons splashed, and lone cliffs where tigers roamed. Look up the fine summits penetrating the azure skies. Stare behind where the canyons measured as steep as heaven upside down. Upwards and downwards ever so strange, coming and going, fearful and hesitant. Beasts move in herds, its sheer height blocked the sun and stars. With such a confusing path, the horse could barely enter. How could they reach Thunderclap and see the one and only Buddha? The elder reined the horse to have a better look at the mountain. Just when they were having trouble finding their way across, on a green grassy slope appeared a woodcutter. With a worn-out hat and a dark shirt on, he was just enjoying his time cutting some dry wood when he saw the elder coming from the east. In a loud voice, he shouted at the elder, "Elders heading west there, stop for a moment, for I have something to tell you. There is a group of vile monsters in this mountain who do nothing but eat humans who travel through here like you." The elder heard that, and his soul left the body. Frightened, he could barely stay on his decorated saddle. Hurriedly turning back, he called for his disciples, telling them, "You just heard that woodcutter say, there is a group of vile monsters in this mountain. Which one of you dare go ask him for details?" Xingzhe said, "Worry not, master. Let Elder Sun go ask him." Splendid, Xingzhe. In wide strides, he made it on the slope and shouted, "Big brother," at the woodcutter. He greeted the man, and the man also returned the gesture to ask, "Oh, elder, why did you come here?" Xingzhe answered, "To be honest with you, big brother, we were sent here from the land of the east to West Heaven for scriptures. The one on the horse is my master. He hasn't got much of a nerve. Just now you were reminding us of some vile monsters and heartless beasts. I therefore came over to ask you the following. From which year did the monsters originate? From which year did the beasts originate? Are they experts or are they amateurs? If you don't mind, big brother, tell us the truth. That way I can start ordering the mountain gods and Tuilary of Soil to escort them away as criminals." The woodcutter heard this and laughed towards the skies, saying, You are one crazy monk, as it turns out, Xingzhou said. I'm not crazy. Those are honest words. The woodcutter said, If you really are so honest, how dare you say you can get them escorted away as criminals? Xingzhou replied, The way you keep boasting about their strength and blocking our way to give us this incoherent piece of information really makes me wonder if you are related to them. If not a relative, then you must be a neighbor. If not a neighbor, you must be their friend. The woodcutter smiled and said, You crazy, insolent monk, speak nonsense. I came to explain the situation to you out of goodwill. All I want is for you to be extra cautious when you're on the road by day and by night, and you just blame it all on me. To begin with, I have no idea where the monster spirits come from. Even if I do, why do you have the nerve to escort them away? Where are you escorting them? Xingzhou answered, If they're a heavenly monster, I will send them to the Jade Emperor. If they're an earthly monster, I will send them to the underground bureaus. Those from the west go to Buddha. Those from the east go to the sages. Those from the north will be sent to the great emperor of true martial. Those from the south will be sent to the fire star. Dragon spirits go to the rulers of the seas. Ghosts shall be escorted to the kings of hell. They all have a place to go. Elder Sun has acquaintances everywhere. All it takes is one court order, and they will be transported away, as if flying through the night. The woodcutter could not stop, but let out cold laughter, saying, You crazy, insolent monk! You must have traveled in divine places and mastered some tricks like writing seals or casting spells in water. All you can do is repel evil spirits and bind ghosts. You have never even encountered monsters as vicious as the ones we have here. Xingzhou asked, How vicious are they? The woodcutter answered, That mountain is about 600 li away from here. It's called Pingdingshan, the flat-top mountain. In it lies a cave called Lianhua Dong, the lotus flower cave. There are 2 leading monsters in the cave. They drew up portraits just to capture monks, and even had their full names written down in order to find and eat the Tang monk. It would be better if you came from elsewhere. Should you have the slightest association with the word Tang, you can give up passing. Just give up. Xingzhou answered, We just happen to be from Tang Dynasty. The woodcutter said, Then they are here specifically to eat you. Xingzhou said, What great fortune, great fortune! I wonder how they will eat us. The woodcutter asked, How do you want them to eat you? Xingzhou explained, If they eat my head first, it would be better. If they eat my feet first, that would make things difficult. The woodcutter asked, What happens if they eat the head first? What about the feet? Xingzhou answered, You have never experienced it. If they eat the head first, I will be dead after one bite. No matter how they stir-fry or boil me, I would feel no pain. If they start from the feet, they will crunch my ankles first, then chew up my legs before eating away my waist. I am in no hurry to die, but instead have to suffer in whatever pieces remain of me. That is what I consider difficult. The woodcutter said, Monk, how do they even have time for that? All they will do is capture you, tie you up, and throw you into a steamer. You will be steamed before being swallowed whole. Xingzhou laughed and said, That's better, much better. There won't be much pain to handle. All we have to tolerate is some stuffy air. The woodcutter said, Don't you joke around, monk. Those monsters carry 5 treasures with them which possess immense powers. Even if you're the jade pillars supporting the skies and golden beams that keep the seas in place, if you want to get the Tang monk safely across, you will have to go mad a little bit. Xingzhou asked, For how many times? The woodcutter answered, 3 or 4 times, I guess. Xingzhou said, That's nothing at all. We go mad about 700 or 800 times every year. Merely 3 or 4 times will be quite easy on us. We'll just go mad and let it pass. Splendid great sage. He hasn't got any fear at all, but a mind solely focused on protecting the Tang monk. So he let go of the woodcutter and turned back in strides. Coming straight down the hill where the horse was, he said, Master, it's nothing big. It's true that there are a few monster spirits around. The people here are so timid that the matter is always on their mind. You've got me. What are you afraid of? Let's get back on the road, let's go. The elder heard that and had no choice but to relax and follow. As they walked, they realized the woodcutter was long gone. The elder asked, "What is the woodcutter who delivered the message gone?" 八戒 said, "We're in bad luck. That's why we came across ghosts in the day." 行者 said, "I'm guessing he went into the forest to find wood. Let me have a look." A splendid great sage. He opened his fire eyes and golden pupils and stared across the mountains and ridges. Yet not a trace was found. Suddenly looking up into the clouds, he saw the chronicler of day. So he unleashed on Cloud and caught up to him, calling him lousy ghost several times before asking, "If you have something to say, why didn't you tell it straight to our faces? Why transform like that to deceive, elder son?" Panicking, the chronicler bowed to explain. "Great sage, I am late with the message. Please forgive me, please forgive me. Those monsters indeed possess immense powers and many transformations. You will have to exercise your wit and apply your intelligence if you wish to carefully keep your master intact. Should there be the slightest of negligence, the road to the west would be out of the question." Xingzhe took in his words before sending the chronicler away. With every detail on his mind, he descended from the cloud and came straight back on the mountain. Seeing the elder, Bajie and Sha Monk approaching together, he secretly thought to himself, "If I tell master exactly what the chronicler told me, given how useless he is, he will certainly cry. If I don't tell him the truth and bring him forward with his head covered, it will be like what the idiom says, entering a pond of weed without knowing the depth of water. Should the monsters take him, elder Sun will again have to be the one who takes care of things. Let me just give Bajie a bit of a peg and send him out to fight the monster first. If he wins, it will be his feat. If he lacks the skills and gets taken by the monsters, it won't be too late for elder Sun to rescue him, and that will show off my famous powers." Just when he was calculating for himself, a question arose. "I only fear that Bajie is too lazy to take up the task. Master is rather protective of the weak one. Let me just put him in a difficult position instead." Splendid great sage. Look at him, putting up a facade as he rubbed his eyes to produce a few tears. Heading towards his master, he walked straight up. Bajie saw him and quickly called, "Sha Monk, put down your load and take the luggage out. Let's split what we have between the two of us." Sha Monk asked, "Second elder brother, why is that?" Bajie answered, "Split the luggage so you can go back to being a monster in the flowing sand river while the old boar can return to the old Gao village to visit my wife. Sell the white horse and buy a coffin for master to rest in after he dies. Everyone shall head their own way. What's the point of going to West Heaven?" The elder heard that on the horse and said, "You stuffed creature, we are still moving ahead. Why spill nonsense again?" Bajie retorted, "Only your son is spilling nonsense. Can't you see Sun Xingzhe is crying over there? He's a mighty man who can penetrate the skies and enter the earth and shows no fear even if you hack at him with an axe, burn him with fire, or throw him into boiling oil. He's now in such great sorrow that he is crying tears. It must be that the mountain is so steep and monsters so vicious that weak people like us cannot enter." The elder said, "Don't you blabber nonsense. Let me ask him first and see what he has to say." And so he asked, "Wukong, if you have something to say, just discuss in front of us. Why worry about it by yourself? The way you are crying is really frightening me." Xingzhe replied, "Oh, master, the messenger just now is the chronicler of day. He said the monster is quite vicious and this place is hard to cross. The mountain is certainly too high and the road too steep for us to move forward. We will have to make the trip another day." The elder heard that and was frozen with fear. Clutching Xingzhe's tiger-skin skirt, he said, "Oh, disciple, we are almost halfway through the journey. Why speak of backing out and regret?" Xingzhe replied, "I'm never one to not give my best. My only fear is that I might be too inadequate against so many monsters and have to fight them off alone. Even if I am a piece of iron, there are only so many pieces of nails that you can forge from me in a furnace." The elder said, "Oh, disciple, you are quite right. It certainly is hard for one person to accomplish. As the military classics say, the few cannot go against the many. I still have Bajie and Shamak here as my disciples. You can order them about all you want. They can be your assistants who work in unison with you. Clear the mountain paths and take me across. Wouldn't that bring you all the true fruit? All of Xingzhe's fake back and forth was just to get these few words out from the elder. So he wiped his tears and said, "Oh, master, if we wish to cross this mountain, Zhu Bajie will have to agree to 2 things before we even have 3 out of 10 chances of making it. If he does not follow my words and cannot act as my help, then forget all about passing." Bajie said, "If elder brother is not going, then we might as well split up. Don't drag me into this." The elder said to him, "Disciple, ask your elder brother first and see what he tells you to do." The fool did ask Xingzhe, "Big brother, what do you need me to do?" Xingzhe answered, "The first is to look after master. The second is to patrol the mountain." Bajie said, "Looking after master is sitting down. Patrolling the mountain is running around. I cannot be sitting down before running around and then running around before sitting down again. How can I possibly manage both?" Xingzhe said, "I'm not telling you to do both things at the same time. Just pick one task." Bajie laughed and said, "That's easier to manage, but I don't know what it means to look after master and what it means to patrol the mountain. Explain it to me first so I can pick the one that's more fitting." Xingzhe answered, "To look after master means the following. When master goes to relieve himself, you have to be at his service. When he walks on the road, you have to hold his arms to support him. When he wants vegetarian food, you have to get him vegetarian food. If he starves, you will get a beating. If his face turns sallow, you will get a beating. If he turns ever slightly skinnier, you will get a beating." Distraught, Bajie said, "That's too difficult. Too much, way too much. Serving and supporting him are nothing. Even if you want me to stay by his side and carry him, that is still rather easy. But if you send me to beg for vegetarian food in the villages, the people on the road westward do not know I am a monk seeking scriptures. They will think I am a half-grown boar coming out of the mountains. They will gather a crowd with forks, rakes, and broomsticks before surrounding old boar to put me down. I will be taken to their homes and slaughtered before being made into preserved meat for the new year. That would be the utmost misfortune, wouldn't it?" Xingzhe then said, "Go patrol the mountains instead." Bajie asked, "How should I patrol the mountain?" Xingzhe answered, "Simply enter the mountain. Gather information about how many monsters are in it and the names of the mountain and cave so we can make it across." Bajie said, "That's easy. Old boar will go patrol the mountain then." The fool thereby straightened his clothes and held up his rake before heading into the mountain road with full energy and might. Xingzhe stood on the side and couldn't help but giggle. The elder scolded, "You insolent monkey! There is no love and care at all between you brothers, but instead you're full of envy. You just put up a performance and tricked him with appealing words into patrolling the mountains. Why are you mocking him now?" Xingzhe explained, "I'm not mocking him. My laughter has another layer to it. Look, once Zhu Bajie sets off, there is no way he will patrol the mountains or see a monster spirit. You just know he will hide for a while before making up a lie to fool us." The elder asked, "How can you tell that's what he will do?" Xingzhe answered, "I only have to guess that he's like that. If you don't believe me, just wait until I follow him to have a closer look and listen. On one hand, I can help him fight monsters. On the other hand, we can see if he is really sincere in seeking Buddha." The elder answered, Fine. Just don't you make fun of him." Xingzhe agreed before heading straight up the hill. He then shook his body and transformed into a tiny insect. It was so light, its waist was smaller than a needle. Once it disappears from sight, not even 1,000 eyes can find its whereabouts.